In the previous example, we had seen how a simple micro operation could be performed. We had R0 receiving R1 plus R2. Over here in this short video lecture, we will see how we can have alternatives to the micro operations. Yeah? The first thing to consider is the shift micro operation. If we want to perform a shift micro operation, obviously we need to use the shifter. And when we want to use it, we need to pass the result of shifting through the MUX_F here. And therefore, we need to have MFSelect having the value of 1. So we need to apply 1 to MFSelect if we want to have the shifting operation. The next thing to consider is when we want to use some constant value in our operations. If you want to use a constant value, we look here, we have the constant input. So we need to pass these through MUX_F. And now you can see what should we apply to MDSelect. So MDSelect should be equal to 1. If we apply 1 to MDSelect, then we will be able to use some constant value in our operations. The next thing is about writing to memory, as I already mentioned, and we will see later. We can say that here we have our memory, and we can write into our memory. For that, we need to specify some address and then provide some data. When we want to do that, we do it through the information provided on bus A, which will include the address, and bus B, which will include the data. And then we also apply 0 to load enable, which is here. We apply 0 to our load enable in order to make the load input to all the registers that we have being equal to 0, such that they are not loaded, they are not written with some new data. The next thing is regarding the MDSelect multiplexer D, which is over here. MDSelect is here. When we want to receive some data from outside, the input data, we can apply, indeed our aim is to pass this data through this multiplexer. Therefore, for MDSelect, we need to apply 1. So MDSelect should be equal to 1 in order to receive data from outside. Okay, and then if we want, we can also store it inside our memory. Some important thing here to consider is that for some operations, for example, when we want to do the shifting, okay, let's say that we want to use the shifter, therefore we use MFSelect equal to 1. When we do so, whatever we have for GSelect will not be important. So here we will have don't care. Because we are not using the arithmetic logic unit, so whatever operation is specified by GSelect to perform will not be important. This is something important to keep in mind. Or whenever we are using the constant input, what we have here is not important, and as a result, the BSelect will not be important, and it could be considered as don't care. So this is also something important to keep in mind once you want to perform a specific operation. Some of the control signals will be in the form of don't cares.